Farewell to old England forever. Farewell to my old pals as well. Farewell to the well-known Old Bailey, where we once used to look such a swell. Sing
G'day, Geranium Man here. More than 100 years before this historic cottage was built, 11 rickety and leaky boats set sail from England on a 22,000 kilometre voyage to Van Diemen's Land. There were 1,500 wretched souls on board in boats no bigger than the size of a Sydney ferry. Their aim? To create a penal colony in Van Diemen's Land and potentially settle it for the British. On board, they had to carry enough supplies to sustain 1,500 people indefinitely. Help would have been more than 2 years away. So they brought with them everything they would need. And as you can imagine, space on board these tiny boats was a premium, so they had to make sure they only brought what they absolutely needed. For example, they brought 747,000 nails, 4,200 farm implements so they could farm. They brought fruit trees, goats, sheep, chooks, everything that you could ever imagine that would make life bearable in a new colony. Amongst those necessities were, in fact, red geraniums. The geraniums were carried on board the surgeon's quarters on the Lady Penrahon. They in fact bloomed whilst at sea. It was reported once that the captain yelled, "Water them there geraniums." They were using their own fresh water to do so. It was vital for the morale of all on board that the geraniums survived and thrived. I have a copy here of Arthur Phillip's journal, and it remarks, day 3, it clearly says, "We disembarked the red geraniums from the surgeon quarters and placed them in the flower beds in the nursery. They looked good and weathered the journey well." Day 6, "We have discovered native Australian geraniums, name unknown. Pelargonium australe is not a very commercial plant. However, it is used extensively by councils as an erosion control plant. They plant it along the edge of the beaches because it's so strong and weedy, it holds all the sand together." Day 12, and this is the really interesting piece. Arthur Phillip writes, "We have reports from the free settlers that some of the local indigenous people are cultivating the native Australian geranium, and to quote, 'They are placing them in containers made from the bark of gum trees, sir, and they are selling them to the local hardware store.'" Believe it or not. More than 230 years after the initial invasion of red geraniums into Australia, the market value annually is more than $3 million. It employs scores of people and they adorn the homes of millions of people. They are imported regularly from growers, from hybridisers from overseas, ensuring that we get the latest and greatest varieties. Please enjoy. Singing to reliability, singing to reliability, singing to reliability, we're bound for Botany Bay. Where's me cat o' nine tails? I want to do me some whipping.